What's your favorite ethnic food? I thought this question was simple enough when I asked it to my students, to you guys, and then I got some really interesting responses that I did not expect. They're not bad, but they're just not what I was expecting, which got me thinking that maybe this term ethnic food is not so clear. So let's explore it a little bit. So when I asked this question, I got responses like sundaeguk, and this was my favorite. I really love pizza. When I was young, I didn't eat birthday cake. Instead, I ate birthday pizza. This speaks to my heart because my friends gave me a chicken cake for my birthday this week, which made me so happy. Pork backbone stew. And then I like sushi from Japan. So it got me thinking, wait, is pizza ethnic food? Would we consider sushi to be ethnic food? What is ethnic food? Because what I was thinking people would say was lesser known foods like, I don't know, especially here in Korea, like Indian or Thai or Vietnamese. I was expecting those types of foods. So I was really surprised to get these responses. So let's delve in. What does ethnic food actually mean? Well, there's no simple answer for that. It's actually really complicated. Even when you look in the dictionary, it either gives you a definition for ethnic, which means belonging to a particular group, which has like a unique way of living, tradition, something like that. And then it will give you a definition, not so much for food, but for cuisine, which means a style of cooking. So if you put them together, it's a certain particular group of people's way of cooking. So the traditional definition, I'm going to read it out. Ethnic food refers to cuisine originating from a specific ethnic group or country. This cuisine reflects the culture's heritage, uses local ingredients. For instance, Thai food with its curries and emphasis on chilies is ethnic cuisine. However, there's also a social definition or social aspect to this term ethnic food. This definition considers how people perceive the term. So often cuisines from minority cultures. So these are the cultures that, they're not big groups within the country. So for example, in Korea, the biggest group obviously is native Koreans. And then afterwards you have the minority, or you have these little people groups. I'm one of those. As an expat, I make up do we make up 2% of the population or something like that? So we are in the minority. So cuisines from minority cultures or those that are new to a region get labeled as ethnic. But this has a negative side to it. So this can unintentionally imply that these cuisines are different or inferior to the dominant culture's food. This mostly happens when the food is really new. It's really, really new. It hasn't been explored yet. So foods like pizza, although ethnic foods, they've been explored so much. I mean, you can get pizza wherever you go. There's pizza, fries. We can't classify fries. There's certain foods that we now eat that are so common to everybody. They are no longer that special in a way, don't fight me, in a way, right? So I wouldn't see them as ethnic food. Really what we're talking about is something that's different. You don't see every day, and it definitely uses specific ingredients from the place that it comes from. So here, because this term ethnic food can be seen as negative, a better way to look at things is to instead use the term international cuisine, or just simply say the name of the food, like Thai cuisine. It's a little bit better. So ethnic food is definitely used a lot, but just remember that sometimes it's negative, and it usually refers to food that is not from your own culture when you're talking about it. So if I'm Korean, when I'm talking about ethnic food, I'm usually referring to food from a different country, so not my own. So in this case, sundaeguk wouldn't be ethnic food if you are Korean, but I'm not Korean, so sundaeguk is ethnic food for me, but it has to be in the right context. So let's take a look at it. So when it comes to Korean food, it does fit the definition of ethnic food because Korean food has a distinct character rooted in Korean culture and history. Ingredients like kimchi, gochujang, and fermented soybean paste are staples. So it reflects this country and the environment. Whether or not it's ethnic food depends on the situation, the context. So in countries with a large Korean population, Korean food might not be considered ethnic. So I would say in Koreatown, LA, Korean food is not ethnic food because there's a big population of Koreans in that place. In Vietnam, in Da Nang, I don't know if Korean food is considered ethnic food because there's so many Koreans who go there. It might as well be a mini Korea. And I'm sure it's the same thing in some areas in the Philippines. In Guam, I've heard Guam is like mini tropical Korea. Like you leave Korea and then you arrive and then it's like another Korea as well. So in places where there's a huge population of Koreans and the food is so easily, you can buy it in the grocery stores. There's 10,000 restaurants. It's not technically, it won't be considered as ethnic food. However, in places where Korean immigration is more recent, Korean cuisine might be categorized as ethnic food. So, for example, in England, Korean food would be categorized as ethnic food because the popularity of Korean food has been recent. I think maybe we're talking about in the last 10 years booming. When I first came to Korea, and I came to Korea in 2014, in my university town, there was one Korean restaurant. And I happened to because the only reason why I knew it was even Korean, or the only reason I searched for it, is because I started to watch Korean dramas and listen to Korean music. If I had not done any of that, I wouldn't have known that there was even a Korean restaurant that existed in my town. So it was really unknown. Nowadays, though, completely different. There were so many bibimbap places, and sometimes you also see some samgyeopsal places, but bibimbap is like a big craze and big thing. So now it's starting to get popularized, but still it's very new concepts and very new food. It's trending right now. So it would be seen as ethnic food. So when we're talking about ethnic food, or ethnic cuisine, we're talking about international foods that are specifically unknown or they come from a smaller group of people. They're harder to find. And they use, ingredients that are not usually found within the country. And they're not ones that are very known. Like, for example, cuisine such as French and Japanese, even like American fast food, Italian also. It's so well known that we wouldn't necessarily classify it as ethnic food. Instead, we would use the umbrella term of international food. So that's what I want us to focus on is international food and does it exist in Korea and can you find it? So as an international person living in Korea for goodness knows how long, I came here for 1 year. In August, I'm going to be celebrating my 10th year here. Oh my goodness. Does international food exist in Korea? Yes. Is it easy to find? Hell to the no, especially when you don't live in Seoul or in like a big city. Even Busan, Seoul, maybe Daejeon even has, like Incheon even has. And I always hate the videos you see online of people being like, oh my gosh, I live in this city and I can eat this food and look at this and look at that. I can take the subway. And then you're like, that's not the reality of all people. That's not the reality. So let's take a look. In Chuncheon, in our little town, you can definitely get some Indian food. It took some time, but it finally did come. We have one Indian restaurant in our town and it's not bad. It's not bad. It's in the center. It serves what you need. I feel like the taste could be it could hit me a bit harder, but I also understand that they are catering to a Korean audience, which the food shouldn't be. I think spice, Koreans can handle spice, but salt maybe might have to tone it down. So I definitely do feel that when I go to international restaurants in Korea, they do change things so that they can suit the majority, the Korean palate, which I'm not against because I'm just happy that they are here. So At Mahashita, you can get really good naan bread. I really like the naan bread. I like the makni. I always have that, and my husband always has lamb vindaloo, but just it's really good. However, my favorite restaurant, Indian restaurant, is in Jeju-do. It's called Indian Kitchen. If you get the chance to travel to Jeju-do, check out this restaurant. It's in between Jeju City and Sogripo. Like, you have to take a car or a taxi, but it's well worth it. Well worth it. Get the lamb chops. Just get the lamb chops and then add your curry, add your naan. You're not going to regret it. It's a nice location. It's always packed with people. Friends come in there. Couples come in there. It's just a nice vibe with good food. Literally, if they could sponsor me, like, I would go there. I'd go there. I'd pack those lamb chops and bring them with me each time. It's worth the money. It's not your cheapest place, but it's worth the money. All right. Do you have a special Indian place that you like to go to? Have you tried Indian food? If you haven't, try some. What are you waiting for? Okay, Uzbek food. So there is a huge population, especially in Chuncheon, actually I think all over Korea, of people from Uzbekistan. And one thing that is really difficult for them is to find food that they can actually eat. A lot of people from Uzbekistan are Muslim, and so they need to find halal food, which is meat that is prepared in a specific way. And that can be really, really hard. Another thing is that Koreans love pork. We love pork in Korea, but Muslims cannot eat pork. So a huge portion of like the food that they can eat is cut off for them. So what can they do? Well, I found this really nice kind of community post on Halim website, which talks about the restaurants that you can go to. I think there's 4 on here, but I think Kebab House is now closed down. That's one I used to go to as well. But you've got the Indian restaurant I just mentioned, and you've also got Musafir. And I love the review. It says, is an Uzbek restaurant near Kangwon National University. The place is quite small and humble, but the food is mouth-watering. Now, if something is mouth-watering, it's not just okay. It's not just good. It's really, really, like, as in the spit, the saliva is coming out of your mouth. That's how good this place is. On the day we went, the owner was treating every guest with palov, which is a national dish. I don't actually know what palov is. Let's see what Professor Google says. Oh, no, I've had it. A really good friend, Julia, made this. This food is so good. It's like pilau. The rice is cooked in the meat. It's flavor. It's good. It's good. Okay, I'm convinced to go there. In honor of Holy Ramadan, so we left the house feeling grateful with full stomachs and unspent money. By the way, you can also buy Uzbek and Kazakh products such as halal sausages, cheese, butter, sweet there. That's one thing I've noticed. Whenever you go to an international food place, they always try and sell some sort of ingredient, which is really, really helpful, because getting hold of specific spices, even sometimes different styles of rice, can be really difficult, but you can be able to purchase it. I've definitely seen it not at the Indian restaurant, but at Vietnamese restaurants and Thai restaurants. I've definitely seen them selling some, basic ingredients or seasonings from their country. Sometimes drinks also. All right, that's Uzbek food, which I'm sure all over Korea you probably find their restaurants. They're really well organized. Vietnamese. I think this is by far like one of the countries that has established themselves really well in Korea, because I have seen multiple restaurants, Vietnamese restaurants all over. Now, are they good? Are they all good? No, okay. I usually avoid the ones that I can't tell if it's real Vietnamese people there. I'm sorry to say, it might be something that people might get offended by, but I'm sorry. I've been to so many restaurants where it's Vietnamese, it's decorated with Vietnamese style and music and whatever, but then I eat the food and I'm like, this isn't Vietnamese food. This doesn't taste like the real Vietnamese food. So I'm really picky. A good one that I found in Chuncheon is by Myeongdong. And it's really simple. The menu is not heavy. You can get your classic, you know, pho and rice dishes and some spring rolls. But the price is not bad as well. I think this is still the price that you can buy, but with inflation, inflation is killing us in Korea. But with inflation, I think this is still the price. So again, go check it out. Go check it out. It's really nice. But do you have a better one than mine? Do you have a Vietnamese food place that just slaps, like everything you eat from there is really good, and that's actually run by Vietnamese people? If you do, please let me know, because I love it. I love it. All right, we can't talk about international food without mentioning Itaewon. It used to be the happening place for international food. I think that was just a place where you wanted international food, you go there. It still is, I think. There's still many restaurants. There's still, whenever I feel like, oh, I want something different, this is still a place that I think about and I go. So there you can try out a restaurant called Braai Republic, which is South African barbecue. You got a little video of it. Oops, did I take the sound off? There is no, I thought there was sound. There's music. At least let's listen to the music. Oh, they've got steak and ribs, nice. And they've got their like dessert. I'm not really a big like wet dessert fan, but if you're into that, good on you. So that is Braai Republic in Itaewon. It's honestly on the if you click for top restaurants, it's right up there in terms of top restaurants as well. Right there, number 5, and you can check out some more there as well. So again, nice and easy choice. French food. Again, we're talking about international food, not just specifically ethnic food, but if you fancy to have an experience of France in Korea, you can go to Seorae Village. And I think this is Kim in Korea, or in Korea. She talks about all the different things that you can find in this village, which is essentially one street. There is the school, it's like from international French school there, but you can also find some coffee shops, some Michelin restaurants as well, star restaurants as well. So it's all fun. If you want a little bit of Paris, you can go there. She did try some food from Paris Croissant, and she wasn't impressed with everything. Let's just say that. But she said it was okay. She gave half an approval. All right, if you are looking for Central Asian, so you are looking for anything Russian from Uzbekistan or Kazakhstan, then this is the area to go. Gwanghee-dong, I think it is. Again, I put a link in for a video where the YouTuber kind of goes around the area showing you the restaurants and also where you can find some, food. There's stores as well. So this is really useful. So if you're really interested in food from just kind of this particular area in the world, this is a recommended area for you to go, which again, I've never been actually, but I don't mind. I would like to, because I think Central Asian food is all about meat, rice, bread, potatoes, and that's my kind of jam. So definitely think I'll be checking that out as well. We're almost there. Thai food. Again, you can find that in Chuncheon as well. There's some Thai restaurants that have popped up. I used to go to one in Myeongdong, but I think it closed down. But then one that you can find in Chuncheon, what was it? There's one that you can find, I think it's Bangkok 99. Bangkok 99 is one that I've seen. I've never checked it out, but have you gone to Bangkok 99? If you have, please let me know, because I would like to try it out. And then last recommendation, this one is a little bit further out, Pyeongtaek, but you've got West African food. You can find West African food in Itaewon, but I think I've heard or I've seen more reviews about this restaurant, which is, I think it's Maison Fée, I think. But here they've got their menus at the moment. Prices are a little bit up there. a little bit up there. But again, if you're considering eating something that is not from this country, you have to consider also the price of like importing goods, because they have plantains. You can't get plantains in the store. You have to bring it from another country, right? So I'm sorry, I'm gonna pay the money for it. They've also got tomato stew. They've got some. I think I've had a version of this as well, but it's on a hot, what's it called? Not on a hot day, but on a cold day or any day, right? Any day you can try some. And I think this is from Ghana, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, go out, try different things. So today, I think I just wanted to encourage you to explore different foods in Korea. I think when it comes to Korean food, we have just so much choice and it's really good, but my heart always cries a little bit that there's not as much international food in all cities as there is in Seoul. But it's not a big problem. We've got good transportation, so whenever I do need food, it's not a difficult thing to go and get it. So anyways, if you have some recommendations that I didn't mention that I have to mention, please do let me know in the comments below. And I hope you enjoy your day or whatever you're doing. See you next time. Bye bye.